Thank you so much for attending my PowerPoint presentation on the most disturbing BTD6 facts ever. Most of you view this game as a colorful distraction from your mediocre lives, but beneath the vibrant primary colors and the repetitive pop sounds lies a universe so fundamentally broken and ethically bankrupt that it makes a child charcoal factory look like a playground. I've organized these facts from the least to most horrific. We begin with the economy. You likely place a monkey Wall Street because you want $1,500 at the end of every round to fund your poorly optimized defenses. However, look closer at the infrastructure. The existence of a monkeyopolis and Banana Central implies a society that has completely abandoned traditional values in favor of a hyper-industrialized monoculture-based system. The IMF Blown ability is perhaps the most damning piece of evidence. You are literally placing your future in debt for immediate military hardware. This isn't just a strategy, it's a reflection of a society that has prioritized the destruction of rubber over the fiscal stability of its citizens. When you take that loan, you aren't just clicking a button. You are participating in a system where the war effort is the only thing keeping the currency afloat. It's a quintessential example of a military-industrial complex that would make a 20th century dictator blush. The Sapper achievement requires you to pop 5 million fortified Bloons. To a casual observer, this is a grind. To a technical analyst, this is a horrifying statistic of attrition. For you to reach this number, the Bloons have to have sent millions of their most elite armored units into the meat grinder of your defense. The sheer scale of this conflict is notorious for its lack of diplomatic solution. There is no peace treaty. There is no ceasefire. There is only the endless numerical escalation of casualties. You are forced into free play, a state where the laws of physics begin to fail and the Bloons become exponentially more oppressive. You are essentially trapped in a temporal loop of violence just to see a digital badge. It's a failure of the educational system that you find this entertaining rather than soul-crushing. Geraldo sells a bottle of Jerry's or Gary's fire hot sauce for a modest price. You probably think it's just a spicy condiment that summons a little fire creature. You would be wrong. Ninja Kiwi has confirmed that these are hot sauce spirits that take the shape of kittens. Think about the implications for more than 3 seconds. The monkeys are not just using spirits for defense, they are potentially consuming them as food. Gwendolyn has been noted to try and cook with these entities. You are watching a species that has become so desensitized to the supernatural that they are seasoning their meals with sentient fire ghosts. It's a disgusting display of biological arrogance. The wizard monkey's bottom path allows you to summon an unpopped army. These are the translucent, ghostly shells of Bloons you have already destroyed. This confirms a metaphysical reality that most of you are too dim to grasp. The dead do not rest in the Blooniverse. The maps Haunted and the Midnight Mansion further cement this. Moving furniture, glowing eyes, and spectral presences are common. The monkeys have weaponized the souls of their enemies to fight for them. It's not just a tactical choice, it's a desecration of the afterlife. Imagine being a Bloon, finally finding that sweet release of being popped, only to be yanked back into the mortal coil by a monkey in a purple hat to be used as a meat shield. It's pathetic and morally bankrupt. The Beast Handler controls dinosaurs. Now, if you've ever opened a book, you might think dinosaurs should be extinct. Ninja Kiwi, however, has stated that they are not extinct in this universe. This points to 2 equally disturbing possibilities. A lost world scenario where these creatures are being poached for warfare. You aren't training a pet. You are enslaving a prehistoric apex predator to buy a piece of rubber. The resource expenditure required to maintain a Gigantosaurus just to guard a single lane of traffic is a testament to the monkey's lack of long-term planning. In the contested territory mode, there is a relic called the Box of Monkey. This implies that the monkeys on the front lines are being shipped as bulk cargo. They aren't individuals with lives, families, or a preference for which map they're deployed on. They are inventory. They are ammunition with pulse rates. When you place a tower, you are essentially opening a shipping container and telling the contents to just start throwing sharp objects until they die, or you sell them for 70% of their original value. I'm interrupting this presentation because I can see your attention span flickering like a dying light bulb. If you want to prove that you're something more than a mindless consumer, you should consider engaging with this channel in a way that doesn't involve drooling. If you find this analysis enlightening, though I suspect you're mostly just confused, subscribe to the channel. It's the only way to ensure you don't miss the next time I have to explain basic concepts to you. It's a small price to pay for the privilege of hearing my voice. The map Erosion features an ice shelf that actively melts as the rounds progress. This isn't just a quirky mechanic though, it is a literal representation of a dying planet. As the ice melts, your towers fall into the sea. If you don't evacuate them, which means selling them for a loss, they drown. The monkeys are fighting a war on a planet where the environment itself is collapsing under the weight of their industrialization and the Bloons' mysterious influence. It is a grim reminder that even if they win, they might just be kings of a pile of salt and water. Bloons are not filled with helium. They're filled with a mysterious substance known as blops or bloontonium. The monkeys harvest this substance from the corpses of their enemies to power their own technology. The entire monkey civilization is essentially running on the processed remains of their foes. This creates a horrifying incentive for the war to never end. If the Bloons were truly defeated, the monkeys would suffer an energy crisis. They need the Bloons to keep coming so they can keep their lights on. It's an oppressive cycle of dependency that ensures the violence will continue until both sides are extinguished. Lich the Gravelord is a boss Bloon that actively drains the life force from your monkeys. When you sell a tower or apply a buff, Lich heals itself. Even more disturbing is its ability to resurrect the hollow shells of Moab-class Bloons as resurrected blimps. This is the Bloon version of the Necromancer, but far more efficient. It turns the battlefield into a graveyard where even the air is hostile. Lich doesn't just want to win, it wants to remind the monkeys that their efforts are ultimately futile against the power of the grave. The Alchemist has an ability called Total Transformation, and it's a masterpiece of body horror. It takes nearby monkeys and violently warps their physiology into vicious blue monsters that shoot lasers from their eyes. The process is temporary, but think about the physical toll of having your bones reconstructed, your skin changing color, and your eyes turning into high-energy projectors, only to have it all snap back to normal 30 seconds later. Doing this repeatedly throughout a game would be an agonizing experience. The Alchemist isn't a support tower, he's a mad scientist performing live experiments on his colleagues. When Bloonarius the Inflator takes damage, it doesn't just leak air. It disgorges smaller Bloons. The use of the word disgorge or vomit in the technical description suggests a biological visceral composition. When it dies, green liquid splatters everywhere. This confirms that the boss Bloons are not just large Bloons, they are massive, bloated organisms with internal fluids and a reproductive system that involves bleeding minions. It is a disgusting organic affront to the clean, popping sensation you've been conditioned to enjoy. The Crucible of Steel and Flame description finally confirms what we've all feared. There is a monkey inside the machine. For every tack shooter you place, a monkey is being crammed into a hot metal box. This box is filled with high-speed machinery, blades, and fire. This also explains why the tack shooter lacks camo detection. The pilot is literally blind to the outside world. He is just sitting in a dark, sweltering oven, pulling a lever whenever he hears the sound of rubber. It's a claustrophobic nightmare that most of you ignore because the Ring of Fire looks cool. Look at the Monkey Academy, or the existence of the baby monkey. Ninja Kiwi has confirmed that the monkeys we are using are fighting a war of survival. The Academy upgrades aren't for higher education in the arts or sciences, they are militarized training programs. The monkeys are being groomed from a young age to enter the military. You aren't playing with friends. You are commanding a force of youths who have been indoctrinated into a cult of popping. The innocence of the monkey village is a facade for a society that has completely mobilized its children for total war. In Bloons Adventure Time TD, Hunter Marceline has an upgrade called Soul Sucking. This allows her to devour the souls of the Bloons. This is proof that the Bloons are not just rubbery AI. They possess a metaphysical existence. They have a soul that can be consumed for power. This makes every pop not just a mechanical distraction, but a potential erasure of a sentient being's existence. The monkeys aren't just popping Bloons, they are participating in a mass spiritual slaughter. If you thought the sentient AI part was bad, consider that Ninja Kiwi has confirmed that Bloons go to gyms to get stronger. This means they have a culture, they have goals, they have a self-improvement mindset that probably exceeds your own. They aren't just mindless drones, they are an organized, sentient species that has decided collectively that the monkeys must go. The fact that they organize into ranks suggests a complex social structure. They aren't an infestation, they are a replacement. Adora, the high priestess, has an ability called Blood Sacrifice. To increase her level, she murders a friendly tower. Ninja Kiwi tries to sanitize this by saying the monkeys are transported to a dimension filled with sunlight, but we know the truth. The red on her hands isn't sunlight juice, it is the lifeblood of the monkeys who trusted her. She is a religious extremist who believes that mass murder is a valid path to godhood. The fact that she is one of the most popular heroes says more about you as a player than it does about the game's balance. When a vengeful true sun god is created, the map itself changes. On Adora's temple, the water turns blood red, the temple turns dark. This is the visual storytelling that proves that the vengeful transformation is a corruption of the very earth. It turns a holy site into a place of darkness and blood. The monkey's ultimate weapon is literally a god of vengeance and death. They have reached a point where their protector is a demonic entity that requires mass sacrifice to even exist. It is the definition of a Pyrrhic victory. We end with the most disturbing fact of all. According to the Ninja Kiwi blog from June 3rd, 2022, the Blooniverse is an alternate reality where humans are extinct. The Bloons are very likely a sentient rubbery AI created by humans that eventually wiped us out. The monkeys are just the scavengers living in our ruins, fighting the very thing that killed us. When you see the Monkey Town or the high finance buildings, those aren't monkey-built skyscrapers, those are the hollowed out remains of our civilization. We are gone, the monkeys are next, and the Bloons are the only things that will remain. Thanks for watching, and subscribe.